What's going on, guys? It's your boy CGOD. We're back at it again. Today we're going to be doing the first installment of the $500 bagging of my 1986 Lincoln Town Car. So far we spent roughly $300 for the full kit, which includes the compressor, the tank, the bags, the valves, all that good stuff. I actually spent another $150, so that brings us up to $450, and I copped me a second tank and a second compressor. So I'm gonna be running 6-gallon capacity with two 480 Chinese Johnnies. All right. So I got this board here. Paid about $7. It's like 1/4-inch MDF board, 2 foot by 4 foot from the good old Home Depot. I measured it all out. I got everything centered. I got my hardware that's gonna hold the tanks and the compressors in place. I did actually super glue them because I'm a broke ass nigga, but I got everything centered out. I got the measurements I needed, and I'm gonna cut it to where we can fit it in the trunk of the Lincoln, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so with the quickness, we're done cutting this. So pretty much the trunk layout is gonna be like this. So here you can see we're gonna have a tank right there, compressor there. Tank right there, compressor there. Should be pretty legit. See how I had it all mapped out, everything nice and centered. I got OCD though, so I mean, yeah, had to give old girl a blowjob. But yeah, I suppose that all depends on the type of builder you are. I got OCD, so I take forever on doing everything because it has to be perfectly centered and squared and balanced, you know what I mean? So from here, I got all my fittings and everything already on my tank, using Loctite 545 to seal it up because Teflon looks kind of ghetto and I don't really know how long it lasts. But I've never had an issue with the 545, so highly recommend that. Other than that, the last thing is going to be making room in the trunk of the Lincoln to be able to fit this board, and I'm actually going to be putting the carpet over the board. So these bolts here, I actually have them super glued so they won't move or turn whenever I would go to put them in. But yeah, the carpet is going to go over that, and then we'll be putting the tank, the comps and everything on top of the carpet, so you won't really be able to see this board. It's just for the fact that I didn't want to make a bunch of holes into the trunk of the Lincoln. So we're gonna go ahead and move over to the trunk of the Lincoln, and I'll probably show you guys. I already have the valves and everything mounted. The lines are ran, all the wires and airlines, all that good stuff is all already ran through the Lincoln. Damn, I look kind of like a crackhead. Look at that shit. Either way, yeah, I'll be putting in work. I don't really be worried about how I look, so I'll catch y'all at the back of the Lincoln. Alright, so moving on, I'm gonna go ahead show you guys the trunk first. So for the trunk, as you can see, we got this little Sony Johnny underneath here. Speaker wires are kind of pinched, but I got that little Rockford John. So we're going to be mounting the compressors and the tanks up in this area. All the wires and everything is going to be hidden. There's kind of like a little false wall here, that thing. So that's going to be where, as you can see, all those fuses, all the wires, all the relays, everything is going to be back there. So pretty much the way we did it is we ran a 0 gauge wire from the battery, ran that back. We got the 1/4-inch air lines. These are going to go for the rear bags, and then inside there you can see the other two, which are going to be for the feeds coming from the tank going to the dash. So all this stuff is going to be kind of hidden. Like I said, I'm going to slap this carpet over the top of that wooden board, and I have my super glued bolts in place to where I'll be able to just set the tanks in place and then wire everything up. So let me take you on over to the inside. So here on the inside of the Link, we have all the airlines ran. Everything is in place to where we could be like, you know what I mean? I did end up putting this punk bitch ass stereo in there just because I added that sub and I ran all the wiring and RCAs, remote wire, everything is ran from that and powered from the stereo. So I mean, it's not too bad, but yeah, so that's how that's going to be mounted there. These are going to be rear right, rear left, front right, front left, individual control. Be able to bang them all, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, so the way I did it is I have the power cable running in from this corner, coming over and then going underneath the carpet. I did have to remove the seat and the entire back seat to be able to make everything reach back there, but it's all kind of like car specific, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily just like Lincoln specific video. This is going to be for everybody who's trying to do it. So if there's an easier way on your car and you find out how to do it, then better for you, I guess. But if you're looking for a specific this body style Lincoln, then that's how I did it. But I also ran manual paddle valves, and unless you're a broke ass nigga trying to really do this for 500 bucks, then you're probably going to run electric valves, especially if you want to go with a bigger line. 1/4 inch line, which I'm running for this, is not going to be the fastest by any means, but it's, instead of being like a lay and play setup, it's going to be kind of just like a lay setup, you know? So yeah, and like I said, I also spent the extra money and I copped an extra tank and an extra compressor. So I mean, without doing that, you would have a little bit more of a budget if you want to stay on just a 3-gallon setup. But then again, if you're going with bigger line, you're also going to use more air, so your 3-gallon single compressor setup isn't going to be the greatest. But yeah, for the trunk setup, I need to remove some of the like metal brackets that are on the trunk floor. That way I can get that board to sit even and flat. And then after that, then I'm gonna throw the carpet over it and then make little slits in the carpet so the studs will come through and mount all my shit. And it should be pretty sick. So yeah, once that's done, then I'm just gonna wire up the compressors. After that, we should have a full functioning setup. Everything is already plumbed to the valves here, so that really shouldn't be an issue. Once done, should be ready to just be like, oh yeah, that's how we're gonna be doing it in this beach. But yeah, as for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get juking on that trunk setup. So after I get everything taken out of the way that needs to get out of the way, then I'll set the board in there and I'll bring you guys back at that time so you guys can see how I put the carpet over it and mount all my stuff on it. I am gonna have to finalize things like where I want to put the amp. I might just put it on top of the sub box itself just to make it easy. But yeah, all that wiring is gonna be underneath of that piece of wood, or the MDF that I'm mounting all my management to. So everything's gonna have to kind of be sorted out before I put that in. But other than that, it doesn't seem too hard, so I'll bring you guys back at that time. Alright guys, so continuing along with the good old trunk setup. As you can see, right about now, I did end up mounting the amp back there. And I ran all the wires, cut a slit in the carpet, so as you can see it's through there. I have the wood set up now, and I actually made little slits in the carpet itself. So after I throw the carpet over, the studs are gonna stick through, and then I'll be able to mount my tank and my comps and all that good stuff with the carpet over it, so it'll look pretty gosh darn OEM kind of ish, and I didn't have to make holes in the car. So yeah, right here, these are our feed lines, and as you can see, my dumbass cut it too short, so I got these little connectors because I'm gonna have to run more line to them. Right there, I got the ground and the power wire for the amp. For the power setup on this, I'm not going to be able to have it all functional today because I still need to go and get some like little fuse connections, because each of the compressors need their own fuse in line, and I'm going to be getting that from the homie, as well as the metal and everything that I need to make the cups and the plates for the arms and pretty much everything else I'm gonna need, but that will either be in this video or in the next video. And yeah, so let me go ahead and throw the carpet over, start putting in the tanks and the comps, and then I'll bring you guys back with pretty much a final look on it. All right. Alright guys, so we got the trunk pretty much finished up. It's not 100% finalized yet. Like I said, I still need to do some wiring for the compressors, but it's, you know, some minimal stuff. So here's another look at the link. So that's how she's sitting right now. Go ahead and show you guys the trunk. Gangster. Bam. All right, so here we got it. It's all kind of cleaned out. Got the spare tire in here, and as you can see, we are running 2 3-gallon tanks and 2 eBay 480 compressors. Got our little gauge here, you know how much pressure we got. I got a quick connect over there, kind of harder to see, but there I'll be able to put an air line or whatever. Still got to wire the comps, like I said, but other than that, this is essentially how it's gonna look. As you can see, there's still hella usable space. You see, I still got my static lowering kit in here, as well as a first aid kit from Lincoln. But yeah, hella space in here still. Full, like everything's empty. Like nothing is being overly used. I actually forgot, but there is speakers back there, and I don't know if you guys can see, but it's really close to the tank there. And then on this side also, compressor line for the compressor in the back. It's very, very, very close. But this is pretty much what the setup's gonna look like. We got the little thumper and the trunker. Amp in the back, nice and concealed. You like literally can't even see that nigga. But yeah, it's a black amp. Either way, yeah, so I still gotta plumb in a couple of lines. I'm gonna run, I got these 90s on the bottom of the tanks, so I'm gonna run a 1/4-inch line from there to the other tank, and that'll also help me to bleed the water or air or whatever out of the bottom of the tank whenever that time comes. But other than that, that's what the trunk setup's looking like, boys. So this is probably, I want to say 99% done. Needs a tad bit of work in there, but yeah, very sick looking, you know. But yeah, guys, so moving along with the $500 bag build, I did opt to add the extra tank and the extra compressor just for longevity, I guess, because 3 gallons, it's doable and it'll work. But yeah, it's kind of like a small upgrade, still keeping it under 500, but realistically it's going to cost a little bit more than 500 without these homie hookups and shit that I've been getting. So yeah, this is probably going to conclude this video. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one, as we're going to be actually probably installing the bags on the motherfucker. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Come back next time. If you didn't watch the older videos, make sure to go back and watch them so you can see the kit that I have on here, as well as like all the extra little mods that I did. But other than that, this your boy CGOD checking out. I'll catch y'all later. Deuces.